So this is the tutorial video number 3 where we're going to finish up with plots and adding data to plots. You'll be using scatter plots more coming up in this semester, and we'll talk about that in future tutorial videos. The most immediate ones you'll be looking at though is bar charts. So let's look at making a bar chart. So here with the scatter chart, we had a y value and an x value. Here we just want to select the y value itself and insert that bar chart. This is the most common one you'll be using, the clustered column, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute when we start to add data to it. But you can see it's adding each of those y values in a bar. We have a chart title. You want to make sure that you do add axis titles here as well. Okay, so we've got the vertical and the horizontal. And right now we don't really need a legend, but we do need to change these x values to their actual numbers. So we're going to go to select data up here in the menu, and we're going to add our horizontal axis labels, which are just going to be these concentration values. Okay, and then you would change your axis titles to reflect that. You can also add the error bars. So if we go to add chart element, you can add error bars, just like we did with the methylene blue calibration curve and the scatter plot. You want to make sure you choose the custom values and specify your standard deviation values for each one of those points as the positive and the negative error values. Okay, so we've got that. We can change the formatting of these bars the same way we did in the other one. Click on any one of those bars, it'll select all of them. Go to the fill options, and I'm going to change these to, let's say, red. Maybe this third bar is special for some reason. I did more trials, or maybe that's the important one, or I had trouble with it. I can click on just that one bar again, and you can see all the others are deselected. And I can change just this one bar. So maybe I do a pattern fill and there's some kind of stripes in there, and I can do like a new line around it that is black. Okay, you could also do dashed lines. Okay, there's lots of different options here for making your plot look pretty. Now, if you want to add a data set, okay, to any plot type, okay, make sure one of the plots is selected. Go to chart design and then go to select data. Now here you can select, you can add more series or delete series, okay, as you see fit. In this case, it's going to be really nice to make sure that we have them labeled so we know what is what. So here I'm going to label the current series as the average measurement, okay, and I'm going to maybe add the I'm going to add the trial 1 and trial 2. Okay, so my y values here, I'm just going to highlight trial 1. I'm going to add another trial 2. Okay, I delete this, highlight trial 2. Okay, and then I can say okay, and you'll see that it's going to put all those 3 data sets on there in a clustered fashion. So all of the data points for this concentration are clustered together. So that's what the clustered column chart means. Maybe you don't like these colors that they put in there, so we can change those automatic colors to, let's say, like a brown color and a crazy stripy thing. Okay, why not? That's hard to see. I'm going to add a line around that just to make sure that you can tell what's what. Okay, so that's adding a bar chart, putting error bars in your bar chart, adding a data set to an existing plot, and we've also done a lot of formatting to make it look nice. Again, here, this would be really helpful to have that legend so that you know which data point is which data point. You can move this around. Maybe you want to put the legend inside the data area. That's fine. It's really easy to modify what this looks like. as long as it's readable, you'll have to be thinking about what is the best way to represent my data and call attention to the important things. So in this assignment that you've been walking through with the tutorial video, I need you to make sure that you have each of these pieces. So make sure these numbers are here underneath in your math function section. So you have addition the traditional way, you have using the sum function, you have the subtraction, multiplication, division, counting, raising to a squared power, right, using a square root in two different ways, and the pi. I need you to make sure you've calculated the average and the standard deviation for each one of these concentration values. And I need you to have created a methylene blue calibration curve using a scatter plot and also by making a bar chart. You should change the formatting for the data points on both of these away from the default values. So if you have blue circles here, we'll know you didn't do that. And if you just have the default values here, we'll know you didn't do that. And that's what you're going to be graded on. So we're just going to check this. We're going to make sure that we could change one of these numbers to say 0.2 and everything would change. All right, you see the standard deviation here increased, so my error bars increased. It changed my plot values here, and it also changed all of these values, a lot of these values, because it included that trial one there. So if we can do that, if we can change one number and have data on this plot and down here all change automatically, we'll know you have a living spreadsheet and you'll get full credit.